heart of every man craves a great adventure, but life doesn't usually feel that way. Jesus speaks of narrow gates and wide roads, but the masculine journey is filled with many twists and turns. So how do we keep from losing heart while trying to find the good way when life feels more like a losing battle than something worth dying for? Grab your gear and come on a quest with your band of brothers who will serve as the guides in what we call the masculine journey. The masculine journey starts here now.
Welcome to Masculine Journey. We have an amazing show for you today. We are live from, how do you say it? This here?
Currahee, I guess.
No, it's Currahee. It's mountains Currahee, but
right.
it's
Toccoa.
Camp Toccoa. Yeah, we're in Georgia
Yep.
for the boot camp that we've been talking about like every week for the last several weeks.
We're not in a bunker in North Carolina like we usually say?
Yeah, no, we're on a mountaintop.
That's right.
Right here at Currahee, and this is a mountain that the guys ran in the portrayed in the TV show Band of Brothers.
Yep.
That the Real Easy Company ran over and over again,
Yep.
3 miles up, 3 miles down, and until you come here and you hear a car struggling to get up here, and knowing that they didn't have nice gravel roads, they're running up over some rough terrain.
Yep.
Coming back and forth, it kind of puts it in perspective.
And a drill instructor was not a lot of grace about it.
Yeah, he prepared them.
He prepared them.
We'll give him
That's
that.
true, and they give him that credit.
But we're right now we're going to be doing our favorite show of the year. We have one of two of our favorite two shows of the year, and it's when we go live from boot camp. And so that's what we're doing now. And the thing I love most about it is there is one star of the show and a bunch of other co-stars.
Yeah.
Right. So the star of the show's God.
Yep.
And then the co-stars are the guys that are here at camp. And so we're going to end up asking each guy a couple questions about the weekend and how it's going and how God's been coming after their heart, and just hear what they have to say and what God lays on their heart. And so, starting out, Andy, who's our first guest with us?
This is Bill, and I'm not going to give his full name. We'll just call him Bill, right? Is that right, or do you want to be known as?
I think he's still in witness protection, so I'm not really sure if we can mention the rest of his name.
And this is really his name. We're just only giving you half of it. So.
Yeah. So Bill, tell us a little bit about your weekend. How's it going for you?
It's been amazing just to be around fellowship with other men and to know that when we think we're alone, every man probably has the same struggles. Mm-hmm. Might be a little different story, but the struggle is pretty much the same.
Absolutely. And if the struggle's a little different, the message behind it is for sure the same, right? That you don't have what it takes, or you're disqualified, or one of those things that the enemy likes to throw at us.
Correct, yeah. And he's good at it. He's very skilled. He knows our weaknesses, and he doesn't want us to be a warrior for the kingdom of Christ.
No.
He wants us taken out. And so this boot camp is certainly a platform where as men we can all get together, grow together, and know that we have a Father in heaven that loves us.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, thank you, Bill. How's God been coming after you this weekend?
God has pretty much showed me a lot of the time I thought that I was battling, there's me and there's God, and God's good, so I must be the one that's doing wrong. And I've come to the realization that there is an enemy, and Satan knows all my weaknesses, and the realization that my dad was the way he was because of the attacks he got. And I was fortunate enough before my dad passed away to be able to talk to him and ask him what his dad was like, and then to come to the realization that his dad was very, very abusive on him. And then it was like a light went on for me, knowing now I know why I'm the way I am, because my dad struggled with giving love. And now I know what I have done to my son. Those generations, you follow that same pattern. And I'm just so thankful to know and to realize that God, the Father, loves me and loves everyone, and that he's not mad at me and he's not condemning me. The Bible clearly states there's no condemnation in Jesus Christ. So I'm just so thankful that I've had the honor, privilege, and humbled to be here with other men that struggle, and I'm just so thankful to God for it.
Well, we're glad to have you here, Bill. I thank you, and I know God's got some more stuff in store. The weekend's not over yet.
Amen.
There's some more stuff that God's got planned to come, and so looking to hear more about that when we get a chance to catch up again later.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
Andy, so what's been a big thing for you at this particular camp?
Just the camaraderie of the guys that came and us as a team to be able to really connect. It was good having Danny on today for his response during the sonship talk. That was good. But, every time you get a new nugget out of a talk that you've heard 1,000 times or whatever, and I think it's always, there's a freshness about it, even if you've heard it, over and over and over again. So.
It's kind of like anything else. I'm always amazed when I go back and read Scripture that somehow I think it's changed. It's just my proximity has changed, and so I hear it and see it and learn it differently. And so God opens your ears and eyes to things that you didn't have the ears and eyes to hear and see before.
Yep.
Our next guy, Sam from Kernersville, not me, but you. You're
the real Sam.
Yeah, the real Sam. I'm the fake. I'm imposter. Yeah, I'm number 2. I'm the second one to go there. Yeah. But Sam, welcome. How's this weekend going for you?
Well, my wife has asked me a couple times. She's like, "Well, are you having fun?" And the answer is no.
Yeah.
I'm not here for fun, right? But the answer is, in fact, I'm having a good time, as in God is in good, right? So it's not a fun time. It's not here about, there's fun things. There are fun things that happen, but it's about being here and being here in the moment. It's about thinking deeply. And so again, it is good. The content is good. My heart is good. I'm enjoying the challenge that I'm being presented, but it's not necessarily fun.
No.
Right?
No, some of the things that God takes us back into can be kind of painful.
Yeah. Very much so.
Right, but the victory that's on the other side of it makes it so worth it.
Right.
But it doesn't make you look forward to going through it again on another one. And so I definitely understand.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I think it brings a lot of hope. I think the enemy tries to isolate us, and we talked about that earlier, that we're the only ones that feel a certain way. You talk amongst yourselves and you get hope, but it's not an easy thing. Some things are easier than others. Praying to receive God as Father, to me, was very good and refreshing, but going into the wound of why I needed God to be my Father wasn't as easy. It was admitting to some things that I didn't want to that happened between me and my dad and stuff. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's tough to go back there, but that's where the healing occurs.
Right.
Sam, how's God coming after you this weekend?
So the word for me this weekend, and it's really something that God's been working on me for about 6 months, is friendship. Okay, and so it was something that started at church, but ultimately they were asking, do you have a close friend, or better yet, do you have a great friend? Mm-hmm. And one of the challenges I heard back then was, well, if you're going to be a good friend, or if you're going to be a great friend, you have to be a good friend or a great friend. And then just the realization that, okay, here I am, 55 years old. I have lots of buddies, right? And so that's what God's really putting on my heart is I am looking for friendship, deep, godly friendship. And that's what God's putting on my heart this weekend. And again, one of the things as we were in our quiet time yesterday is, where do you find that? You don't find it necessarily at a bar. People find it in boot camps. People find it in different things that they've done, like military boot camps,
right,
and that
absolutely.
kind of thing, et cetera. And so God was like, well, where do you go look for that, Sam? Who are your peers? Where do you go find them? And there's not an app for that, right? You go out there and put an ad.
Right,
hey, I'm looking for a godly bro. I'm looking for a godly bro.
Yeah.
And that's what boot camp. I think that's one of the places is God bringing me here was because he's like, hey, listen, this is the kind of place. If you're going to find a good friend, if you're going to find a great friend, a lifetime friend, you need to go look in the right place.
Yeah.
And so that's the word that I've heard this weekend is friendship. And again, where are you looking?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We appreciate you sharing that. Well, Sam, we thank you for being here and being with us. Andy, so what the food? We got to talk about the food. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jay has been doing a tremendous job. Robbie made a amazing brisket that can't wait to have leftovers on Sunday.
Yeah.
But the food's been awesome.
Yeah, I've already got my fast planned when I get back home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to resist. As much as I don't need that, it's good stuff.
Well, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and we're definitely, we're definitely fulfilling that first part and opening up the doors for God on the second part. Boar, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, welcome, Boar. How's God come after your heart today, or this weekend?
He's not really coming after my heart. He's just showing me many things and commitments and plans, and to enjoy and learn about him more within this big group. He just I'm here. I'm just laying out you the floor plan of everything, the blueprint, and let you focus and realize that you are loved. You are loved.
That's absolutely awesome. That is very key, and that's probably the best part of the weekend for you. But other than that, what's been your favorite part of the weekend?
I would say the food, but
yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Learning a lot, more information of experienced men going through trials in life, tribulations, learning from them, and then sharing and giving advice.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you, Boar. We're very grateful to have you here, and I look forward to what God's going to be doing the rest of the weekend as he lays out more of those plans for you and helps you determine those next steps.
Thank you.
So thanks for being with us.
All right.
Sure.
Andy, all right, so putting you on the spot, what's been your favorite meal so far? We still got some good ones to come. Are you going to make Jay mad, or are you going to make Robbie mad? Which way are you going to go on that one?
The hot dogs back here
on
top of the mountain were pretty darn good.
Yeah, we did have lunch up here today.
We did.
Yeah.
That was it, because we were able to get outside and be with one another, and but all of them have been good. I'm kind of a brisket guy, and I really enjoyed that, but I overdid it. I indulged, but tried to hold back a little bit when I got to the pulled pork, because I could have done the same thing to myself, and I was already paying for it. But both of them were excellent.
I'm just seeing it as working out for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I'm getting my body prepared, stretching my stomach muscles or stomach capacity out for Thanksgiving.
The Bible does say buffet your body, right?
Yeah,
so that's what we were doing. Is just
we were living that to the full.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, our next guest with us is David. David from Winston. It's great to have you here. How's the weekend going for you? What's the weekend been like for you?
It's been incredible. I didn't know what to expect. I had heard the podcast before and gotten a little bit into the book prior to coming in, and so I had kind of sorted some of the themes. But these guys have been great to really opening up their hearts and minds and sharing from personal experiences and not holding back, which speaks the world to. To me, because I've had, issues with trust, just growing up and with folks and everything else, and sharing from my heart and my experience with other men. So it's been great to meet other men and touch base with them and know that I can be loved by others, and that I can share openly with others, and that it's okay, and that God loves me. One of the things that we've touched base on here is the issue of sonship. So Father God and who he is and who we are to him and what we mean to him. And so that's been beautiful to take on. I know my biggest struggles overall have been the agreements that I tell myself, that I've told myself, or that maybe I've taken on from what other people have said or thought about me, or not said, and I just thought that they thought about me. So just those reoccurring themes that have come up of just searching and going through all the different stages that you guys have provided, and questions that you've laid out have really kind of circled back around to what I've been telling myself, which has been the lies that I've been telling myself. So learning how to kind of pinpoint those, and then kind of stepping out into who I am to God, letting him speak into me and tell me who I am to him, and going through that process. Obviously there's still things that I have to continue to work out and continue to work on, but I'm grateful to be here and to be part of all this. A beautiful sight and an amazing group of guys. I look forward to continuing to grow and build on that relationship, which is something that I've been wanting all my life, to kind of have with other men. So I'm thankful to be here. I thank God to be a part of this. And I've been indulging, so 10 pounds more is what I told myself before I leave here. So.
Oh yeah, it's you want to stay away from a scale for at least a couple weeks. That'll depress you out of the gate. But we do eat well here. I know you answered a lot of it in your question, but how else has God been coming after you this weekend?
He's been definitely telling me that I have to listen to what he's laid out and not just listen but do these things. I still feel in my heart that I have, once I get back home, that I have to reach out to a couple folks and apologize or go through those difficult conversations that I've avoided having. So just laid it upon my heart that the pathway to peace is rocky. But it's necessary, and he directs me and leads me towards that. So that's what he wants for me. So I feel like he's guiding me towards that.
So one question I haven't asked anybody else, I was going to ask you. What would you say to encourage guys to come to camp?
Oof. I think maybe just don't look at this as another opportunity to get away. Although that's very important. I think, Jesus got away with the men that, he was with, but he also got away with the Father. And so don't just look at it as an opportunity to get away with other guys, but really to kind of get away with yourself, with your soul, with God. And be open to the different opportunities and different themes that can come up. If you haven't picked up the book yet, pick it up. It's life-changing. It's great. Wild at Heart.
Yep.
It really is kind of a interesting introspective into the male perspective and who we are in God's eyes. So.
Well, thank you, David. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.
Andy, I'm looking forward to after the podcast. I enjoy doing the podcast and the radio show. I do enjoy that. But I'm really looking forward to the next part of the rest of our day before we head back and do more talks. You tell the listeners a little bit about what we're doing?
Yes. You mean before we go back?
Yeah, pretty much what I just said. Yeah. Thanks for listening to the show. I appreciate that.
I had my mind on what I was going to say. You're dominating my conversation. No, we're going down the hill to Camp Toccoa, where they actually trained. I mean, they ran this hill, but at the bottom of the hill is where they slept and trained and all of that. They've got a plane that they jumped out of, or replica or whatever, and we're going to tour that. Probably take an hour or so, I guess, but looking forward to seeing that. How I found this when we started coming here was I did all the Band of Brother book and movies and stuff, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that camp is in North Georgia. Let me check, and sure enough, it's about an hour away from where we're at Camp Little Light. So we've wanted to get here and do more of this, and we haven't really been able to until today. So it's exciting to be able to do that.
To be truthful, we've come twice when they weren't open.
Exactly. We finally figured out how to look at the website and actually show up when they told you to show up.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of just expecting they might be open.
Right.
So, Billy, right?
Yeah.
You are our next guest, and how's your weekend going, Billy?
It's going great. Great. I was grateful for the opportunity to come out here. It's definitely been a blessing so far. Anytime you can take time out of your day or weekend to just spend time with God and try to listen and get closer to Him, He's gonna bless you, and He certainly has me so far. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. What's been some of your favorite stuff from the weekend so far?
I'm more of an introvert myself, but I'm trying to get better at that. But I enjoy the fellowship with the guys as I've been here. But just listening to the Word and hearing what God has to tell me, because you always think that you try to get closer and you know so much already, but it's those little things that you catch as He speaks to you, especially through other people, and you start to see that He's trying to show you something, and that opens up your heart if you let it. And He's shown me just in the few days I've been here, multiple things that He's, I like to say, knocking at my heart with, kind of trying to tell me something. Some things are brand new, and some things are things I've been contemplating already, but He certainly blessed me through this time already. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, we're very grateful to have you here. I know that there's still about half the weekend left, so there's more opportunities for some quiet time with God, and don't have to talk to anybody but Him if you don't want to, which makes it kind of nice.
Right.
Sometimes
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just tired of talking to people, so it makes it nice to do there. Is there anything else you'd like to add about your time here this weekend, or way God's been coming after your heart?
Like I said, He's just been knocking at my heart, showing me little things here and there, and I'm excited to see what what the rest of the weekend holds. So.
Well, thank you, Billy. Thank you for
Yes,
being
sir.
a guest. We appreciate you being with us. Andy, so what thoughts do you have about how's God coming after your heart this weekend?
Excuse me. I haven't been required to talk yet.
Yeah.
And it's given me more opportunity to listen to you guys and, just everything. We've got some of the team that we've had with us before come back, and that's been good to hear, different people giving talks. The whole idea, he mentioned introspection, and I was thinking about that. Or maybe it was David, but introspection to me, a lot of times you can do that on your own, and you really don't have much more insight than you already have. Having God in these covenant of silences and actually allowing Him to guide you through, this is guided introspection. Sure, you have to look at yourself, but God will guide you. I mean, we talk about it quite often, but I think it really is where the breakthroughs come, is when God gets involved. So.
Yeah, I was thinking we really messed up. We should have fed the guys spaghetti at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, we
and then
did.
brought them up to the top.
Yeah, you have to watch the.
Yeah, I have to watch the series to
yeah.
see why that applies. Yeah.
Curahee, the first episode will show you.
Yeah, that's all you need right there. Well, our next guest is Tim from Kernersville.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Tim, how you doing? And how's the weekend going for you?
It's been going well. So I was trying to think. I think this is like my third or fourth boot camp.
It is.
And it's interesting with the way you guys run it because in a lot of ways you're really facilitators. And so you come into it and you have an idea of what the topic's going to be and what the agenda is, but you go 3, 4, 5 times and God brings something new every time.
Yeah, He does, absolutely. It's I've lost count of how many boot camps I've been to, and every time there's another nugget. There's something more to add to what's going on. How's God been coming after your heart this weekend, Tim?
It's been really interesting because I would say I spent the majority of my 20s pursuing healing and freedom that I knew I needed. And He was faithful to show up and bring that healing and freedom, and spent a pretty good amount of time after that, running after my calling and making some ground. And so it's interesting to come now, kind of when I had a chance to kind of run in some of that stuff, and then be reminded of there's always more.
Yeah.
There's always more healing available. There's always more freedom available. There's always more Jesus available than you're walking in. And it's just been a really good reminder of not to get comfortable. There's always more to go after.
Yeah, and God's always pursuing us through that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Anything else you'd like to add about the weekend, or anything that is on your heart?
No, I mean, I think it just it's an amazing opportunity. It's nothing like, it's a great add-on in your faith if you feel like there's more that you're not getting on Sunday morning, that to have that real relationship with Jesus.
Well, thank you, Tim. We appreciate you being a guest with us and being here for the weekend, more importantly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here, and so we'll talk with you more this weekend. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Andy, what else you got?
You always put me on the spot.
I do. I love doing that. That's my favorite part of the show.
Time out. We're going to turn
it's
this
not my
around.
favorite. My favorite
Sam,
song is.
what you got?
Oh, yeah, God's been coming after my heart this weekend, reminding me of things. I got to do a better job of writing things down, and not just writing them down, going back and reading them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes He has to remind me of things He reminded me of so many times before.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's at a deeper level, which is good, but sometimes it's like my kids are, when they were little. I'd have to tell them like 100 times for them to maybe hear me once. And so that's it. Gene, our next guest. Welcome, Gene, and you're from the Charlotte area, right?
Salisbury. Depending on when you hit the traffic,
Well, for us, that's Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the weekend, Gene. How's your weekend going? How's God coming after your heart?
Well, one thing I've learned about these experiences like this are God usually just hits the ground running, screaming and on fire. And to start out, I went to a funeral last month for an Army buddy of mine who died. We still haven't got the autopsy back yet, and we're waiting on that. And it was the weirdest funeral sermon I've ever been to because nobody's ever talked about David. and his grieving, when he ended his grieving time with the baby that died. And I got emotional. I don't even know why I got emotional, but I got emotional. And on my way home, I stopped at a buddy of mine's place, and I took my Bible, went back to the back of his property to just be alone. If I would have stopped at the grieving time, that would have been one thing. But I didn't, and that's my mistake, because I read about Absalom, and I understood. I knew about him, but I didn't know what happened. And
yeah, which is something for people to read on their own.
Yes, read that on your own.
Yeah.
That's some grade A dysfunction. Anyways, I read it, and I said to myself, I hate David because I am Absalom. And I got one of those fancy, really nice Henry Morris Bibles, and it talked about, in the footnotes, it talked about the fact that Absalom was he was ruthless and unforgiving.
Yeah.
Literally, and God is bringing that to my attention because, he's bringing that to my attention. He's bringing my relationship with my father to my attention because my father's a Vietnam vet. I'm an Iraqi freedom vet, and that does not mix. And at one point, I looked at my father because we got into it, and I looked at him, and I said to myself, I come from him, that is in me, I must kill off that part of myself. And then I went to 2 months before I got here, I talked to my deacon, one of my deacons, and I said, I can't kill that part of myself off, and God's dealing with me on this.
But we're going to have to wrap up. I'm sorry to cut that off.
Fine.
I want to hear more about the story as we get back to camp. But thank you for being a guest with us, and thank you for coming to camp. Andy, last couple thoughts on the show before we wrap it up?
Well, now that we've been here and we'll be back, we would love everybody to come in the spring.
March 12th through 15th?
I didn't know the date yet.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I'm pretty sure that is.
Yeah, it's March 12th through 15th, and we'd love to have you. It's not posted at the website, but you know us. We'll be telling you about it every week between now and then, trying to remind you. And I know you're a lot of guys out there. You always register late. It'd be nice if you registered a little bit earlier, but we'd love to have you there no matter when you register, even if you come at the last minute.
Yeah, shout out to our Spartanburg, Greenville folks as well. Come on to the camp with us.
Yeah, masculinejourney.org. We are grateful to just being able to be here to make safe travel down. God's been with us this whole weekend. I'm looking forward to what he has in store for the rest of the weekend. We'd ask that you just take some time alone. I know you're not at camp with us. You're not on this beautiful mountain. But go outside somewhere and just find some quiet time with God and let him love on your heart and just ask him these questions. God, what do you think of me? What do you want me to know about our relationship? And show me how you love me. We'll talk with you next week. Download us on any podcast location, masculinejourney.org.